against it to the end. Born for this moment, I am ready. I'm a sharpshooter, man, my trigger's steady. Fist clench, I'ma fight. Enemy all in my sights. I'm ready to die if I need to. I'm counting that price, yeah. Beast jumping from them heights. Rebels with me, I'm in stride. Run directly to the fight. You can see it in our eyes. It's glory tonight, yeah. Rebel renegade, yeah. I am not afraid. March on, we ready for war, yeah. March on, we ready for war, yeah. Suited up for this battle, I am here out on the front lines. You don't see where I'm at. Pull the trigger, I ain't gun shy, yeah. I'm about to let them know. I'm about to let it go. I'm about to hit them up. I'm about to hit them up. Go and hit them with the floor. This is war, this is war. Soldier, we're marching on, yeah. All the way to the front. Let them know what we are on, yeah. On and on, on and on. Live forever when we're gone, yeah. Give it all until I see the morning and I rise with the sun. I guess I'm a renegade. Rebel renegade, yeah. I am not afraid. March on, we ready for war, yeah. March on, we ready for war, yeah. The system twisted, but we here. We march against it till the end. Yeah, yeah, yeah. This is my mission, I'm here for a purpose. I give them that vision, we put in that work and we flipping that rhythm till everything's surging. Today is the day we rebel with a purpose. Renegade, renegade, front lines, let it ring, yeah. March on till they see the whole system change, yeah. Rebel renegade, yeah. I am not afraid. March on, we ready for war.
arrested. Ladies and gentlemen, the Land Cruiser pickup, the Land Rover. The Land Rover is also used as a soft-skin vehicle at the main supply route by the commander of the military police in the borders or during wartime. The Land Rover military police. the Mamba vehicle. These are the vehicles that are used as a hard skin during the main supply routes, exercises, and operations. They also sometimes carry the 12.7 light machine gun. Ladies and gentlemen, the Mamba, and that was your military police.
Ladies and gentlemen, what follows is now the boys and the girls that make sure that the metal meets the mood when it is required. I present to you now the Rattle command vehicle, which is leading these vehicles at the moment. From the east to your right, and they are now leading the artillery regiment. The Rattle infantry fighting vehicle is used for many functions within the DoD today. What you have now is for your forward patrol or forward command post vehicles as used by the observers in the artillery regiment. And directly behind them, you will have your 120 mortar system, which forms part of a battery within the South African Artillery Regiment. These are placed now on the Gecko vehicle. The MS-120 mortar is used for fire support to your forces when conducting operations. Ladies and gentlemen, that was your MS-120 mortar. Right behind them, you will find the Battalier. This is a multiple rocket launcher system, which also provides indirect fire support for your command elements when required. Ladies and gentlemen, this regiment is based in Potchefstroom, and this is your 4th Artillery Regiment. Directly behind your multiple rocket launcher system, you now have the G5 105mm gun system. This is fitted with a 45 cal 105mm weapon system. It is a towed system. It is also part of the artillery regiment, where one battery will consist of the G5s. What is now directly in front of you is your G6 self-propelled system, transported by a Shongololo tank transporter. The gun system of the G6 is the same as the G5 system. However, it provides a very mobile capability to can do force projection and deliver firepower where required. And ladies and gentlemen, that was your artillery regiment from Potchefstroom. And ladies and gentlemen, the vehicle directly in front of you is the Rattle 20mm, and also the Rattle 60mm breech loading system is used in the combat role, as I've already informed that many of the units, their commanders will have the Rattle vehicle. Now, approaching the first podium, it is the 35mm gun system from Kimberley. At the big hole, this 35mm gun system provides air defense to our forces, and the 35mm system has a capability of engaging and destroying enemy targets at the range of 4 kilometers. Ladies and gentlemen, you will also be impressed by the fact that the air defense artillery made sure that they bring their 35mm guns in numbers to also show you their capabilities. Now, this weapon system can also be applied in the ground role. This weapon system provides high rate of fire in order to can give you fire suppression and destruction of enemy targets. Ladies and gentlemen, use the time to take as many pictures and make as many videos and be proud of your armed forces today. This is one of those rare moments that you have to be very close to your armed force, and it is the intent that you socialize and spend time with your armed forces today. You can see as the people traverse, elevate, and declinate the gun system so that they show you what the system is able to do so that it can be able to provide air defense and destruction of enemy targets or enemy aircrafts. Ladies and gentlemen, Limpopo today is visited by the guests from Kimberley to come and show them their capabilities. Take notes, take pictures, and enjoy the show by our men and women from Kimberley. And ladies and gentlemen, that was your 35 millimeters. Ladies and gentlemen, as a commander here given a responsibility, I've also realized a technical error, but we shall deal with it as we move on. What you have in front of you is now your Oerlikon 35mm gun system, which has a twin-barreled cannon and has a capability to destroy targets at ranges of 4 kilometers. The previous system has a nickname called Bosfark for those of you that relate with that name. But this one is a 35mm twin-barreled cannon system. Ladies and gentlemen, it is important all the time that we can be able to protect, safeguard the integrity of South Africa, and this is one of the systems that we use to make sure that our airspace and skies are safe. So our ladies and gentlemen from Kimberley have been tasked with the responsibility of making sure that we have that safe environment and we can provide the safety that the Commander-in-Chief has addressed. And so, ladies and gentlemen, directly in front of you now, it is the last of the Oerlikon 35mm twin-barreled anti-air guns. Directly behind them, ladies and gentlemen, you now have your Starstreak missile system, which is on a Gecko platform, and this provides enemy aircraft engagements up to ranges of 6 kilometers. And this will provide a guided missile to be able to destroy and distract enemy targets. And the air defense artillery also relies on radar capability provided by your Ixwa radar system, which is made in South Africa, and it provides a 2D systems capability. It is used as a surveillance radar, and it can also provide early warning. The system can detect at the ranges of 120 kilometers, and it will identify at 80 kilometers. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the systems from the air defense artillery all the way from Kimberley. Directly in front of the main podium, you will see again the Rattle 12.7. As I said, this vehicle is used for various roles, especially in command role in the South African National Defence Force. You will see that in many mechanized movements and execution of exercises and missions, you will find this vehicle. And this vehicle is also used as a section variant, where it can be able to provide you with fire suppression when required. You also have a Rattle 20, which is South African-made 6x6 armored vehicle, which is the main variant of the Rattle, and it features a two-man turret system. It can be used to suppress enemy, and it can provide high power, and it carries 10 members in the turret. Directly behind them, you'll also have the Rattle 60, which is an infantry fighting vehicle of South African origin, and it can be used for indirect and for battlefield support. It has a weapon system, which is a 60mm breech loading mortar, and it is used in infantry units. Directly behind them, you'll find the Rattle 60, which does not have a turret, but it has an opening where a 60mm or an 81mm mortar is fitted, which can be able to provide indirect fire support to our forces. In front of your podiums, you'll also have the Rattle 90. The Rattle 90 is also a South African infantry fighting vehicle manufactured here in South Africa by South Africans, and it is built on a modified man-truck chassis, and it serves as a fire support vehicle, and it is used to knock down and destroy strong points. And this particular vehicle is fitted with a 90mm low pressure gun. Directly behind the Rattles, you will now have the Reukat 76mm armored vehicle, which was developed in the 1980s during extensive operations in Southwest Africa. And this vehicle can be used for various tasks, which would include raids, attacks of all enemy lines, escorting of own forces, and for flank reconnaissance. Due to high mobility and firepower and adequate protection, this makes this vehicle ideal to identify and exploit possible enemy weaknesses. The Renegade is fitted with a 76mm GT4 quick-firing semi-automatic gun. In front of the podium, you will now have your ZT3 system. This is an anti-tank missile system manufactured in South Africa, and it is also used on tank hunt and killer missions. It has a range of 5 kilometers. Directly in front of the podium, you will now have the Shongololo tank transporter. On it, you will have the Oliphant Mark II tank, which is fitted with a 105mm gun. This is the main battle tank of the South African Army, and it is used for high-intensity operations. The Shongololo tank transporter, it is used for non-tactical movement of combat vehicles such as your tanks, and as you may have seen with the G6 when they have to be transported on our urban roads. In front of the podiums now, you will have the Oliphant Mark 1A main battle tank. This is the Army's premier direct weapon platform, developed from the British Centurion tank. The Oliphant Mark 1A boasts a weapon stabilized laser range finding capability and a passive night fighting capability. So this tank can be able to conduct both day and night operations. This tank as well is transported on the Shongololo tank transporter. And the tank transporter is fitted with a MAN 4440 engine. What you now have in front of your first podium is the Cavallo tank transporter. This vehicle is designed and its main function is to transport tanks and equipment in operational areas. It has good mobility and grip and handling, and it is designed in the theaters of operation to go and provide movement of vehicles and equipment. It is a recovery vehicle. What we now have in front of us is our Husky system, sometimes called the Chubby system. It is manufactured in South Africa by a company called DCD Mobility, and this vehicle will do your bomb detection so that we can be able to maneuver freely in operational areas. Directly behind them, you will find an Iveco truck, which is also operated by your bomb disposal teams. In front of you now, you will have a Bell B25E articulated dump truck, which is used to also move gravel and load other material in the battlefield. These are the vehicles that will be used by your engineers when they do various operations, and as His Excellency has mentioned, they have been deployed in support of our communities to do sewer repairs, building of breaches when there's disasters. What you also find in front of you now is another transporter for the logistics purposes, and in this case you will see that it is carrying your articulated diesel truck, which is military off-the-shelf type of vehicle. What you now see in front of you is the Caterpillar 140M all-wheeled road grader. Many have seen this vehicle. It comes in many variants, and it is also used by the engineers in support of our people. What you now see in front of the podium on the low bed as well is your CAT 950 end or front end loader, which is also used by the engineers. It is able to move equipment, gravel, crushed rock, and gravel for various functions. We have again our extensively used rattle vehicle in its differing variants, from your 12.7, your 20 millimeter, your 60 mil. Now in this case, when these vehicles are deployed with the tactical intelligence from Potchefstroom, where they provide battlefield surveillance, this movement is led by Major RV from B Squadron in the Tactical Intelligence Regiment, and this unit is responsible to provide battlefield surveillance, and the units are equipped with various specialized equipment which enables them to do their job. And these units, they are using the rattle vehicles so that they can have mobility as with the rest of the counterparts, and they provide commanders with real-time intelligence by always monitoring the activities on the battlefield. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the Army.
Ladies and gentlemen, following the South African Army's vehicles is the South African Air Force's tactical mobile radars. These radars are based at Air Force Base SWAT Corps 142 Squadron under Air Force Mobile Deployment Wing, Pretoria. The tactical mobile radar represents the tactical aspects of air defense for the South African Air Force. This radar acts as a force multiplier to improve low-level radar coverage up to the radius of 200 kilometers. Ladies and gentlemen, tactical mobile radar. Following the tactical mobile radar is the hazardous material fire tender, which is an aviation fire truck suitable for the airport or aviation firefighting and rescue with mass application of foam, water, and extrication powered equipment. Commitment of 4 or more aviation firefighters is needed for proper or best outcomes with proper personal protective equipment at all times. Ladies and gentlemen, hazardous material fire tender.
Ladies and gentlemen, following the Air Force is the South African Navy Maritime Reaction Squadron boats. The first boat that you see, the green and black one, is known as the RPB, the Riverine Patrol Boat. It is also classified as a high-speed light craft. They are also known as the crocodiles. Their roles are to patrol or conduct riverine operations. They are also used to patrol the lakes and other inlet waterways. Directly after the crocodiles is the harbor patrol boats. The harbor patrol boats are known as the Namakuras. The boats are also used to conduct safe operations within the harbor. And directly after the harbor patrol boats, you get the boarding boats. The boarding boats are used to conduct boarding operations. As you can see on the back, there are 6 men, a team that will conduct those boarding operations. All the boats are actually armed with a primary weapon, a Browning heavy machine gun with a 12.7 caliber weapon, and a secondary weapon, the SS-77, that is 7.62. And the last boat that you see is a 6.1 RUP that is used by the divers.
South African Military Health Services mechanized columns under command of Major Sekwili. FORCE command vehicle used as a mobile command post in theater operations in support of the Army with a crew of 4 members. Followed by the Gecko 8-wheel drive all-terrain vehicle that was developed by LMT Productions of South Africa. It's used by parachute and special forces units and can be applied as a troop weapon, cargo and medical orderlies. Land Cruiser ambulance was developed as an ambulance in the SAMs and designed for border patrols and functions. 4x4 capability. Mercedes ambulances for road transport, medical standby with a crew of 2 and 1 lying patient capability. SAML 20 ambulance is a standard transport vehicle with various applications such as an ambulance, classified as a soft skin vehicle, non-mine resistant, manufactured by trike makers in Roslyn, weight of 2 ton, 2 medical orderlies and 6 patients. FORCE ambulance is an armored ambulance used by the South African Military Health Services. FORCE is Zulu for the word of snake, the emblem of the SAMs. The vehicle weighs 17 tons and is capable to withstand 321 kilogram landmines. Followed by the Aero truck system, there's a roll up and roll off system for transport of containers and cargo. Then FORCE ambulance. The walls of this ambulance can withstand small arm fires up to 7.62. 2 medical orderlies, 4 lying patients, 4 seated patients. The Iveco flatbed systems carrying Casper ambulance is a mine ambush protected ambulance variant used in external United Nations operations. Followed again by the Iveco flatbed conversion, MFORCE and MFORCE Command. Coming into from the right is our Iveco truck with a ABBA trailer conversion, giving the capability to lift containers from the ground onto the back to transport to any area where it is needed, cargo and equipment in such containers. The last vehicle in the medical contingent, again, the pride and joy of the South African Military Health Services, the MUSICA Command.
Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the marching and mechanized columns from the 4 services of the South African National Defence Force.
Hawaiian noises, he's banging on the bongos like a chimpanzee. Oh, that ain't working. That's the way you do it. Get your money for nothing, get your chicks for free. We got to install microwave oven, custom kitchen deliveries. We got to move these refrigerators. We got to move these color TVs. That ain't working. That's the way you do it. You play the guitar on the MTV. That ain't working. That's the way you do it. Money for nothing and your chicks for free. Money for nothing.